Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out the Wingspan Automa mode. Now, we're going to play the digital version in a minute. We're not going to play a full game, but we will show you the interface, and I'll sort of go through what it is and how it's different from playing the computer in the digital version. But this is also available in the tabletop version as well. Obviously, there's no AI on the tabletop version, but there is the Atama. So before we jump into game, I just want to quickly show you that there is a digital rulebook or special rulebook for the Automa mode. I highly recommend that you check this out first because the digital version does not contain this. It gives you tooltips from time to time, and there's a little question mark that you can click on for tooltips, but it doesn't go through all of this in detail. The biggest differences, and I'm just going to quickly highlight this. The Atama will not get a player mat, meaning the computer will not get a player mat. The Atama will not collect food tokens. The Atama will gather birds and eggs, but they will only be used for end game scoring. The Atama does not pay for anything, it just grabs stuff. And then finally, the Atama does not benefit from any bird powers. So there are certain cards that you can lay down, like brown cards, that will typically compare your cards or your array to his, or to your opponents, and whoever has the higher one usually gets something. In this Atama rule set, you automatically win because the computer, the AI, the Atama doesn't have a board. So you automatically win any contest when it comes to brown cards. Also, there are cards that will pop up from time to time that activate your pink powers. And you're wondering, well, if the computer doesn't have any, when an opponent plays a card to their array, do this or whatever, and your pink cards will never activate because the AI doesn't have one. Well, there are ways that the pink powers that you have will activate, and I'll go over that in a little bit here. But this is a quick overview of how the Atama is different. So, how does the Atama work? Well, like I said, it's just going to be very quick here, and we'll jump in game to demonstrate. The Atama has 11 cards. There is an expert level card that you can chuck to make the game slightly easier, but I have to stress that I get my butt kicked every time. My average is like 75, 80, and the computer's always 5 or 10 points ahead of that, which I'm so frustrated. Easy is not easy. The computer is way too difficult for me. But anyway, you can choose to include an expert level card if you wish. The digital version that I'm about to show you has the ability to remove it if you want as well. But every turn, the computer, the Atama here, will draw one card and do whatever it says on that card based on the round. So it's kind of hard to see here on the right-hand side. But it says round 1, for example, draw an egg, or take an egg from the supply. And there's also a blue cube to the right of that, and then I'll sort of explain what that means later. So suffice it to say that every turn, the Atama will draw a card and do something that will generate points for it. Again, it doesn't have a board. It doesn't have a board, it doesn't have a tableau, it's not building an engine, it's just gaining points in various ways. And these cards will help them do that. Most notably, there's a current round tracker, there's 2 end-of-round goal-scoring cards, and lastly, 2 action summary cards. These just affect various gameplay things. I'll go ahead and just scroll down a little bit more here. I'm not going to worry too much about setup. I will say that the computer will be gaining these blue cubes throughout the round, okay? And because the Atama does not have a tableau, it will typically not be able to do what you're doing to gain bonus points for the end of the round. Like, it might be put so many birds in your tableau, okay? And you get so many points for that. Well, the computer doesn't have a tableau. How can it do that? Well, certain cards that it draws will task it with drawing these cubes, and each cube is a point. So these cubes will count toward end of round bonuses automatically without the computer or the Atama having to satisfy those end of round conditions. It will also draw an objective card or an end of game scoring card, and it's its own thing. You're probably wondering, the typical objective cards that players draw will say, gain so many points at the end of the game based on how many cards you've tucked or how many eggs you've laid on this card or whatever. The Atama has its own special deck of these end-of-game objective cards that it's trying to do. And it will draw one, at the beginning of the game, and this will give it some kind of special ability so that it will get more points throughout the game. For example, this one here says, birds that eat food, 2 points per bird. So every time it's drawing cards to earn points, and this objective thing might kick in and make it earn more points. I saw a card that the Atama had once when I was playing it. It said for every time the Atama is to draw a card, it's allowed to draw 2 and earn more points. So these are nasty. My biggest wish is that I can take the ability for the AI or the Atama to have those end-of-game cards because they are super powerful. But anyway, what are some of the actions that you'll see? Well, just to quickly show you, draw cards is one of the symbols that you may see. This says discard all 3 face-up cards from the bird tray. Draw 1 card from the face-down bird deck and place it face down in the Atama supply. Based on difficulty level, the Atama will get 3, 4, or 5 points. So basically just draw a card from the deck, discard all the face-up cards, and this card is just face down. It's not used for its bird ability or anything. It's just a face down card. It's either 3, 4, or 5 points. So anytime you see this symbol, the computer's going to get 3, 4, or 5 points. Which, yeah, that's that. Play a bird. This is where the Atama will be able to take face-up cards from the array and add them as birds, not to an engine-building tableau, but just a face-up tableau that may affect other cards, but typically it's more for points than anything else. But the points on these birds do matter, so that's kind of nasty. Other things you might see, lay eggs. It might tell you to remove all of the food of a particular type from the array. Again, some cards will have a place an end of round cube, meaning he gets an extra point for the end of round score. Some cards even have a remove end of round cube. So he's going to go from like 1 point to 2 points to 3 points, back to 2, back to 1, back to 2, back. He's just going to fluctuate based on the cards that he's drawing. And then when the round ends, however many blue cubes he has is how many points he gets for the end of the round. Again, you've also got cards that will activate pink powers on your player board. So it's just a way of allowing those pink cards to actually be useful. Again, there's more stuff here. Brown powers automatically benefit you. Every time there's a contest, you win it, and so on. So with that said, I know I've talked a lot. Let's go ahead and jump into the game now so I can sort of show you what I like them. Yep, there we go. So there's play, store, credits, preserve, archive. Yeah, it's play and Atama. There we go. So before you actually play, you can click on the little button down here, and it says Atama Easy, Atama Normal, Atama Hard. There's custom difficulty here. As far as I can tell, it's easy is no different than doing this, meaning 3 points for face down card. Do not use the expert card, and you can actually choose to use these. But you cannot take away the core game bonus cards for the Atama, so it will use one. I wish there was a way to make it slightly easier and make it so that the computer earns less points so as not to frustrate new players, because it does hurt to play it sometimes, because it will just steamroll you. Anyway, so that's a quick look at that. And let's go ahead and jump. Now, the goal map, by the way, highly recommend the feather one, only because the first one, this 1, 2, 3, that is a contest between you and your opponent, the computer. If he's drawing a lot of blue cubes, you may not be able to outpace him on whoever is in first or second place. Here, the feather one, that's just whatever you've accomplished toward the end of round goal is what you earn, and that's it, up to 5 points. I prefer that. It's less competitive that way. And of course, I've got all of the expansions selected here, so we'll just do that. And all right, so let's go ahead and show you just the interface, maybe a couple of turns, and then I'll go ahead and sign off. So let's go ahead. Now, you always go first, and I'm not going to sit here and explain Wingspan to you. I've already done so in a previous game, but I have to choose 5 things among these 5 cards and 5 food resources. So let's just pick, again, I'm not going to play a full game. Tuck a card from your hand behind this bird if you do game 1. That's nice. It would start off in the green or yellow area, which is good. This wood stork is very expensive. Typically, you want something that helps you build your engine. It's not a whole lot of choice here. I'm going to go ahead and just choose that one. I need a green and a yellow to pay for it, per its cost up there. And I guess we'll take the tree swallow. And here's an example of that pink ability, once between turns. You know, when another player's skull succeeds, gain 1 food from the bird feeder. Again, there are cards in his deck that will activate these pink powers. Whether or not I want to go for that, again, I'm not going to stress over this too much. We'll just do fine. Okay. All right, and then I get to choose a bonus card. Birds that can only live in water. Birds that with geography terms in their names. We'll just do that one there. It's fine. Okay, so you always go first. And I'll just, again, to keep the game moving, we'll just go ahead and just throw the Dark-Eyed Junco up here. And we'll pay the cost, the worm, and the... I don't want to change that. There we go. All right. So here's the Atama overview. You're going to see this window every time. This was an easy one. The Atama drew a card that simply said, gain an egg. He got 1 point for it, and that's that. Pretty simple stuff, right? I'm going to go ahead and click on this question mark in the upper left-hand corner. And if you're ever wondering what that top row did, quickly just look on this it says lay eggs. And the computer just earns flat points for that. And you can sort of, I love this question mark. These are the tooltips I was referring to. There is no in-game manual, so to speak, but there is this. And if I click help again, it just brings up for each egg icon in the section for the current round, give the Atama 1 egg token from the supply. Okay. His bonus card, by the way, no, it's too late. I'll come back to it. Let's just take another quick turn here. I need a resource. So let's come here and... yeah, I guess we'll just gain food. It could be anything for this card, so I'll just take a fishy. And now this activates. Now I could tuck this card if I wanted to behind here, but I need to play that, so I'm going to skip that ability for right now. Yeah, skip the power. And now the Atama goes. He's going to draw a card. And this one simply says to take a card from the face-up array based on certain criteria. It just says, play bird, draw face-up card. So he drew the highest there, which was a 6. So that gave him 6 points toward his endgame score. He's already, like, way ahead of me now. Let's go ahead and jump down here. And we'll play this black-billed magpie in the yellow biome where it wants to be. And we'll pay these resources, and off it goes. I'll wait for her to stop talking. All right, so you'll note, again, he drew a card that said draw an egg. You got a point for that. And the cube symbol with the X through it simply means take a point away from him. Take a point away, or take a cube away from him to count toward end of round scoring. Again, as these cubes come up, this number in yellow will fluctuate up and down, up and down. It may not be yellow for you because you might not have chosen that color for him. And also on the right, he has the photographer end of game scorecard, birds with colors in their name. As he's taking face-up cards, this will kick in at the end of the game. So this is just, and again, something I wish I could disable to make the game slightly easier. We'll just hit next. 5 turns left. This isn't going to be very exciting because I'm kind of out of a lot of things here. I need to draw a card. Wild Turkey. Geez, 8 points. This bird counts double toward end of round goals. And gain 1. Yeah, okay, that's a good one. All right, so we'll take that card. But now I need resources. So, wow. So he just drew a card that said, take all the fish out of the supply, is what this is. And again, if I hit the question mark, it'll say, gain food. Select the first dice face available in the bird feeder and remove all. So again, it says bird here. Or, not bird, fish. So all the fish are now gone from the supply, and also he got a red cube as a point. So now he's up to 2 points for end of round scoring. So he's already got that going for him. Only 4 rounds left. Let's come back here and gain some resources. Let's go with the I don't think it matters. I'll take the... I need a red and a green, so I'll take the red. Fine. Now, do I want to tuck a card? No, I need to play that, so I'm just going to skip that power. Not a great start, to be honest, but you know how it goes. Okay, so this one said, draw a face-down card from the deck, and that earns him 3 points because it's on easy mode. And, of course, he got a red cube, so now he's up to 3 points. Okay, so, again, in the non-competitive end-of-round mode, you can score a maximum of 5. So if my end-of-round goal is number of eggs in the green tree biome, maximum 5. So I need to get birds in the green row here, and then throw eggs onto them up to a maximum of 5, and I'll get those points. So that's why I want to play this so badly. I need to choose another thing here, and let's re-roll. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to take the green one, and good. I'm not going to tuck a card, so I'll skip that. And now the Atama. Okay, it says take a bird from the array. It's going to discard those 2 and take that one. He just got 2 points, plus whatever the effects are down here for his end-of-game scorecard, the photographer. Moving on. Now I could probably play this. Let's do that, and... Oh, I need an egg. Of course I need eggs. Well, I needed eggs anyway. So let's play that. And I'll lay the eggs up here because I need them up here for the end of round bonus. So we'll do that. Now, do I want to give up a resource to gain an additional egg? And I'm thinking the answer is yes, as much as I don't want to. I'll give up the... No, I can't. I need these resources. So let's go back. I need these resources to actually pay for this card. So that's a no. All right, so he's going to remove, wow, those dice from the array, activate all pink powers. So if there were any pink powers in play right now, they would all activate. Let's hit next. So my black build magpie kicked in because it was a pink card. When another player's skull succeeds, gain 1 food from the bird feeder. So now I can choose one food. I'll just grab that one, fine. 1 turn left. I'll go ahead and do that and pay for it like so. Unfortunately, I would need another full turn to add more eggs to these cards. I just simply don't have it. Wow. So it goes. All right, so he drew a card face down, got 3 points for it. He lost a cube, so he's down to 2. And now we're end of round. I had 1 egg, and he had 2 cubes. So that's how that end of round there compared. I'm sure he's miles ahead of me at this point. But now we're in round 2 of 4, and here's where I'll stop playing the game. But hopefully this gave you a quick look as to how the Atama operates. Like I said, I highly, 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 highly recommend that you take a look at the rulebook first, because it will be great information for you. It lays out the Atama and how everything works a lot better than the video game does. So go check this out. Just Google Wingspan Automa Rules PDF, and you should find the file. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care.